Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the STEM Adventures. I'm your host, Maryam Saim, and today we dive deep into the world of artificial intelligence, and our topic is the Turing Test. Today we have two guests with us, so it would be great if you all could introduce yourselves.
Right. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Owais Ghulam Nabi. I am 11 years old and I study in grade 6. I have interests in science and computer sciences, and in games I like to play chess.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Abdul Moeed and I am 8 years old. I am in grade 3. My interests are football, chess, and badminton.
That's great. And finally, for my introduction, hi everyone, I'm Maryam Saim, and I've done multiple courses with the STEM educators such as Python, Unity, and Arduino. So before we dive deep into the world of artificial intelligence and this Turing test, let's start with who was Alan Turing and what was this test that was named after him?
So Alan Turing was a computer scientist, a very early computer scientist when computers were just recently made. He created and back then there were many questions being raised on computers, um, like do they actually have neurons in the brain, and other questions like that. But uh, Alan Turing focused on a much more simple question: can computers talk like humans? So he soon came to the conclusion of this test, and he named it the Turing test.
Exactly. Would anyone like to add anything to that? Abdul Moeed?
He learned computer machinery and intelligence in 1950.
That is great. And so basically, what I would like to add to that is his first model of it was basically the creation of the imitation game, which he later named as the Turing test. And his basic question was just as Wes said, can computers think and talk like humans? Which was later released in his paper, which was called The Computation and Intelligence. So, as we go deep into this test, how can we know that this test works? So can you guys break it down for us, how this test works?
So this test was, like you said, introduced in a paper. So it basically stated the rules of the game. In it was that a human judge would have a a text conversation with unseen players, and there had to be one bot. The judge didn't know where was the bot, and he had to try and replace one of the humans without substantially um, changing the results. Now, many people actually used many strategies to make it easier for them and not use very complex like algorithms and coding. So what they did was, like, many chatbots, like, they would there was a chatbot, and she would try to pretend to be a psychologist that would make the judge talk more and she would talk less, while there was another bot that would do the opposite thing. He he uh, thought he would pretend to have some disease in which it was hard for him to talk. So he would make mistakes a lot. That would make it harder to like judge him on anything.
Wow, thank you for sharing that with us. Abdul Mueed, would you like to add something more to that?
Yes, in the test, the rules are that a human judge has to determine mind that if either it's a computer or a computer machine or a human, it by answering the questions.
Exactly. So basically, what over here we have mentioned how the test is basically taken by breaking it down into simpler pieces. We get to know that it is basically an interrogator who is supposed to determine between a human and a robot. And many robots, such as Eliza, which was one of the first robots to pass the Turing test. And just like Owais said, that this test isn't basically about testing or tricking humans. It's basically genuinely about understanding and responding to the context, just like he mentioned the robot that was acting as a psychologist. So, where does the Turing test stand today in the world of artificial intelligence? How can it be used and how is it being used in today's world?
So, Alan Turing basically predicted that any such computer that had over 100 megabytes of storage would be able to pass his test. But today, computers have obviously got much more storage than that, but only a few have succeeded. And even those basically also use tricks. Like, even now, many people still copy bots that have been made, such as some bots store information from past conversations. Some make the other person talk more, and there are other things like that. But computers, usually the AIs get confused by very simple words such as and ha
That's right.
in the
Abdul, would you like to add anything to that?
Yes, but nobody has. So only some of the robots have passed the test, but in today's world, still nobody could pass.
Okay, but we have seen many robot and AI models such as ChatGPT, which has recently passed the Turing test. So yes, today's world, these tests are still being used and they've evolved beyond, simple text-based interactions. Just as Owais said, simple things confuse them. They tackle more challenges such as image recognition or puzzles or decision making. So, as we go further into the realm of AI, we must, confront the ethical concerns of it. So, do you guys think that AI models such as these that pass the Turing test, do you think they are going to be able to take over humans one day?
now these days also it's these AI chatbots are already being used in hacking computers, going into the computers, getting the data and going back. And well, yes, computer science is very important these days to excel in the world, but I think we should discourage AI chatbots.
Exactly. Okay. So yeah, you're right. And we really have a lot of questions regarding AI about privacy and bias and implications of creating, more intelligent technologies these days. But just as we say, we have to use it in the right way and not allow it to get into the wrong hands because they can really use it against us. But yeah, as well as there are many benefits, we can use it for the good of our world and our society. So coming towards the end, I would like to ask you all, what do you guys think we could do to save AI from getting into the wrong hands? If you guys have any suggestions.
Tough question. I don't think that there is any response from our side on
Okay.
this.
Okay, so what I would like to add to that is I think we should increase the amount of awareness so that it can we can educate the public and policymakers and developers about the potential risks and benefits of AI. That's how we can prevent it from getting into the wrong hands. And also we can make regulations and ethical frameworks that can ensure a lot of security in this matter. And as long as the Turing test is concerned, I think we should make more efforts into increasing the difficulty level of that. And you guys also might know some other things such as CAPTCHA, which I think we use in our daily lives while signing in. Do you guys have any idea about that?
Nah, using AIs, I just use either Copilot or Bing. I don't
Yes.
use any other AIs. I just like to.
Exactly. So using them for the benefit of us is actually really good, which is how the Turing test actually supports us. And we can basically conduct responsible AI research through that. And yeah, I think that's about it. And should we come to the conclusion or do you guys have anything to add to this?
I don't really think there's anything to add. Maybe we can discuss some AI chatbots or something like some computers that actually used complex programs, what strategies they used to pass the test.
Yeah, sure, you guys can talk about that. Just I think, as Obes said, that some use strategies such as being a psychologist or being a patient diagnosed with some kind of disease. These AIs can really, um, overcome the human barrier and trick someone to thinking that they're actually a human. So, is there anything else that you guys think are other strategies that these bots can use?
So Yugen Ghostman was another AI bot that has also passed. So he pretended to be a Ukrainian boy. So of course he pretended to be a Ukrainian boy. So that means that he would have a lot of errors in his grammar. So that way the judges found it very hard to like judge him on to like actually judge him because of his errors. So it was almost like he was a human, so he also passed the test.
That is great to know, and it is actually a great strategy, just to come across a few errors that can trick someone to thinking that they're human. Okay, that's great. And there you have it, fellow adventurers. The Turing test is a very fascinating concept that continues to, captivate minds and shape the future of artificial intelligence. So today we conclude this journey, and remember everyone to keep exploring and keep questioning the amazing complexities of AI and technology. And until next time, this is me, Maryam, signing off. Thank you for joining us on this episode of STEM Adventures, and subscribe. Make sure to dive into more other thrilling journeys of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Until next time, keep exploring. Goodbye.